secret meetings, silencing sexual assault victims, and corrupt settlements. Those are the allegations in political ads targeting one of three candidates for California's 22nd congressional district, Randy Villegas. The advertisements from several pro-Jasmeet Bains political action committees raise questions about the nature of those settlement agreements. 17's Vincent Monti set out to discover if these claims are true. Vincent?
Yeah, Tammy, by now you've probably seen the attack ads everywhere accusing congressional candidate Randy Villegas of voting to silence victims of sexual assault as a Visalia school board trustee. KGT.com's Olivia Cohen and I spent several days examining page after page of settlement agreements, state law, and an investigative report. We found these ads contain some fact, some fiction, and a whole lot of confusing legalese.
As a Visalia school board member, Randy Villegas promised to protect our children from abuse. Instead, he helped cover it up over and over and over again.
Fighting words coming out of Villegas' primary Democratic challenger, Dr. Jasmeet Bains, and several Democratic political action committees. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have poured into attacking the Visalia school board member, including a $500,000 investment from the Democratic Majority for Israel PAC. Many of the ads popping up on airwaves and online are not directly associated with or funded by the Bains campaign. In fact, PACs are not supposed to collaborate or coordinate with the campaign on advertisements. It's illegal. They may not have coordinated, but the PAC ads started right after Bains first raised the issue in an April report. It started when Bains issued this statement.
Journalists have uncovered closed-door meetings where Randy oversaw and approved nearly $15 million in secret settlements across 5 different sex abuse cases. He even approved gag orders designed to silence victims so they don't encourage others to come forward.
The Bains campaign and the various PACs cite a 2025 investigative report from the Los Angeles Times as the basis for their on-air attacks. But do these ads pass a comprehensive fact check? The LA Times report details 5 sexual abuse cases settled with the Visalia Unified School District and more than half a dozen victims. The abuse detailed in the settlements occurred in the 1960s and 70s, but were only recently brought before the school board. All 7 members of the Visalia School Board approved more than $15 million in settlement funds, with the most recent approval just months ago. All of these facts were independently verified by KGT.
Randy Villegas has said nothing in regards to this, and I think there's a lot of questions to be answered right now.
Randy Villegas did answer our questions.
And I want to make clear that these settlement agreements allow these individuals to have justice on their own terms.
Villegas secretly approved massive settlements for sexual abuse, each with provisions intended to keep the community in the dark forever.
But what about the allegations of secret meetings with attorneys? According to several agendas from the Visalia School Board, the trustees held multiple closed-door sessions with lawyers to consult on the settlements, a move not uncommon for local educational bodies. Decisions must be announced later at the public board meeting.
In closed session, a motion by Board Member DeYoung and second by Board Member Villegas, the board agreed unanimously by a vote of 6 with 1 absent to approve a settlement agreement between the district and CSEA classified employee EID 24993.
According to the Visalia Unified School District, board members can only approve the settlement agreement once its final version has been drafted. The district saying, quote, discussions related to an agenda item in closed session are required to be confidential under the Brown Act. Like individuals and businesses, school districts maintain insurance, but the analysis of the wording in one of the settlement agreements led to some head scratching. A settlement obtained by KGT contains language agreed by both parties referred to as mutual confidentiality. It says if anyone is asked about the settlement, they must respond with, quote, the matter has been resolved without any further elaboration, discussion, or disclosure. Local civil attorney Matt Clark says clauses like this are nothing new.
It might not be true. It might actually have been the claimant and their lawyers that wanted the confidentiality clause in the agreement.
But down 3 paragraphs in the same agreement, the text says that, quote, nothing here is meant to restrict any party from disclosing factual information related to the action or their claims. So what then of the legal contradiction? The STAND Act was passed in 2018, aimed at preventing employers and defendants from using confidentiality clauses to silence victims. Attorney Blaine Musto has worked with victims in drafting settlement agreements. He says the clause was included to comply with the law.
What we have here, it seems, from what I understand, is provisions and agreements, that sometimes can be written up in a way that isn't the clearest.
Both Musto and Clark agreed the agreement was confusing, but not out of the ordinary. Clark says school boards aren't in a position to keep information regarding the settlements hidden, especially since they receive funding from taxpayers.
A public entity cannot keep the dollar amount of a settlement confidential. If there's a Freedom of Information Act request for that amount, they have to disclose it.
Now, we want to remind our viewers that most of these advertisements are not directly associated with or funded by the Baines campaign. If you care to take a deeper dive into this emerging political drama, you can read 17's Olivia Cohen's report on our website at kget.com. Reporting in studio, Vincent DeMonte, 17 News.